Jordon, it's obviously a sick note at the end there. Just kind of take us through the game as you saw it.
Yeah, I think it's sore as it gets, to be honest. We've had 3 weeks not out there since a really, really bad one, you know, when we were here against Cove. We've had time away to reflect, reset, and I thought, you know, the majority of metrics today, you know, we're probably on top of. Had the better of a lot of probably things to like about the performance, but right now it doesn't matter because the result was what it was. Yeah, just got to look, everyone in there's got to, I think there's a big effort put into that. We're obviously slightly light on bodies, used our whole, you know, kind of bench there that we could, and the guys dug us back in the game again. You know, I thought the reaction wise we've been really critical this season in terms of when we went behind and really kind of let games slide away from us, so it gives us a chance to stay in games and draw more games and turn more defeats into draws and draws into wins. And unfortunately today we've managed to get back into the game, and then look, it's an absolute freak, you know, it is an absolute freak, and I think the whole stadium, you're absolutely stunned by that. And then look, after that goal, like, we're still at 2 corners, you know, we're still pressing forward, trying to get back into it. That's the boys' attitude, you know, they will never give up. But I think in a nutshell it kind of sums up how the season's went, to be honest, where we've threatened so much to, you know, almost push up the way. We've had really good moments, really good results put together, but there's always that, you know, downer that comes, you know, that comes around. You get punished, you know, you get punished today. It's not been punished by quality, it's just been punished by, of course, they've got real good quality, but I just mean it's not been a moment of magic or anything that's taken us apart. It's been a freak goal that we need to swallow now, and yeah, look, we said to the boys there, you know, there's, with 2 minutes to go in that game, Danny Stratton misses a massive opportunity that, you know, and not just him, by the way, you know, we had Jack Brown, we had Guff, we had big chances in that game, probably the most chances we've created in a game for a long time. So like I said, positive, but the big moments, you need to put them in the net, and if you don't, you're punished. And look, I don't think no one's seen that coming at the end there, but yeah, it's a very, very sore one to swallow, and the guys are all devastated, you know, and so are we, but we've got to dust ourselves down, you know, there's a whole half the season left. It is a disastrous result in the way that, you know, we really wanted to kick on today. It took us up the way, you know, close against the clubs, but like I say, that's where we're at, and that is the reality of where we're at the moment. Not quite doing enough, whether it's in, you know, our own box or their box, putting the goals in, and we're conceding too many goals still. Doesn't matter how they go in today. Like I say, it maybe wasn't cut open as such. You know, I thought our defensively done okay. They're always a threat in behind. You know, Harris a top player who threatened a lot, and they've got good wide men like McKinstry and Bradley who, you know, played at higher levels. So you get punished, but we can't keep forcing ourselves to score so many goals to win a game, and that's what ultimately has, you know, no matter how much you dust around it, how much you look into, you know, performance or metrics, it's the end of the day we've lost the game, and it's really sore one.
You obviously said there about the reaction to going down. It was a similar kind of situation last time out against Cove, going down early on, but you replied within a minute. It must have been, you know, positive at that point to see the team dig in and get back into it so quickly.
Definitely, I thought we started game pretty well actually and found ourselves behind obviously, but then reacted really good. It's good to get a chance back in the score sheet, and Guff was much more like himself today and gets numbers. You know, we're asking these guys, they need to have more output, you know, for as well as they're doing or as hard as they're running, they need to have more output to back that up, and yeah, they did that, so look, that was encouraging. When it goes 2-1, again, potentially against the break of play, but it's real quality from the boy to score the goal. We can also do things better ourselves that we will look at and analyse the life out of and see how we can improve it. But it was something we said to the boys for the game, exactly that. You know, we've had 4 or 5, maybe 6 really bad results this season. In terms of, you know, a couple have been out there where we've went behind, Stenny and Cove come to mind, where we've went behind and we've just crumbled. But I thought right to the end there, you know, it sounds daft now and it sounds deluded, but you know, we were the team that was going to win that game with Danny's chance and the way we're breaking forward, but then you get punished going the other way. So yeah, the reaction to go 2-2, look, the subs we made, we've not played in 3 weeks, we've not trained a lot as well, so it was just a complete freshen up of 4 players there that went on, and look, 2 subs combined for the goal. So in terms of, you know, guys having an impact in the game, it was better again. I think Danny crossed it to Ireland's a great finish. So yeah, again, positives, but right now it doesn't matter. You know, the league table, I think no one else in the league obviously played today in the league, and they'll be looking at it and probably pretty happy with how that results went in terms of the rest of the league. And that's for some of us to sort, and we feel it was a real missed opportunity in terms of putting more points on the board, you know, getting back to winning ways, but in the end they've not even came away with a point. So yeah, sore, positives of course, and reaction and learnings, but we need to keep at it.
It was quite obvious from early on that Hamilton were looking to attack over the top, try and find the pace of O'Hara in behind. Was there anything in particular you did or said to Jason and Aaron at half time to try and combat that?
Yeah, I think the guys had them okay. Obviously, he was always going to be a threat, but I think not just the threat of him running behind, it was what they were doing to get to that stage. So the you know, the defender, either one of the centre halves was stepping in, or they were finding one of the midfielders to then, you know, empty O'Hara over the top, which then they had willing runners. You know, they had the 2 wide ones that were really brave, really high, and We just had to hold strong and firm and centrally, and I thought second half, to be fair, O'Hara, I know he does really well for the second goal, but and again, it's a moment of quality. He gets a chance, he picks it out, he could have lashed it across 6-yard box, he cuts it back. So yeah, look, you can see 3 goals, so you can't stand in here and say we've done well defensively or anything at all, or near the standards we want to be at. But yeah, I thought the guys did adapt. I thought Andy drove us on second half in terms of getting forward. But they were dangerous. If it wasn't O'Hara was coming short, and McDonald or Newbury, McKinstry or Bradley were all causing trouble going in behind. So look, they're still a right good side, and if they didn't have their points deduction, they would be right up in the playoffs. So I know they've lost a few players and potentially will lose more, but out there, they're still a strong side.
You also touched on earlier a bit short on bodies today with a few out injured. Are you looking to bring any more players in at the moment?
Working hard, honestly working hard every day. I think it's not a cliche that January's difficult, we've had loads and loads of discussions, loads of opportunities on players, loads following up on players. It is a genuine daily task, but it needs to be right. It needs to be right for us, it needs to be right for the player, it needs to be right for the club, it needs to be right, lengthwise, value-wise, they need to fit in the squad on and off the pitch. And yeah, look, I think it's clear we need a bit of help in certain areas, and just a wee freshen up wouldn't go amiss, of course, as well. But we're not just going to do it for the sake of it, of course. So yeah, I think it's been. We spoke about it in detail. I think in the league there hasn't been too much movement. Obviously, Hamilton have lost a few, but I think sometimes it just takes that wee bit of domino effect. A lot of teams maybe higher up that we're looking to get loans off, or looking to get players off, or waiting on somebody to come in. So yeah, look, I'd hope there'd be good news in the next couple of weeks that we can, really bring a new energy to the squad and just give everyone a lift. Sometimes when you're going through these wee bad periods, which look, we've only lost 2 games, we won 2 before that, but it feels like real sore ones. Sometimes you need a wee lift, and it needs someone to come in the building that can help. And I think definitely, look, we scored 2 goals today, and could have scored a lot more. I'm sure when we look back, but I think we definitely need help up that end of the pitch in terms of helping Shanks and putting some pressure on Shanks and driving him on, because competition's good. So yeah, it's something we're looking at. It's not the lack of trying. It's totally not. And as well with the renewals, we hope that a few guys can tie down their long term here, which we want to do. We're hopeful here for another 2 years at least after this season. So we want to protect that as well. But yeah, right here and now, we're trying to come out of January stronger than we went into it. So yeah, working hard, but a bit of frustration and a bit of patience needed.